10 Premier League players who had different careers since retiring. After a career in the Premier League spotlight, most footballers appear content to turn their hand to management, appear on the sidelines with a microphone in hand, or just take up a cozy life on the golf course. But there are a rare few who take a wildly different path once they have hung up their boots. Footballers rake in millions from lucrative careers, and a second career is rarely on their radar. Careers at the top flight allow them to retire into comfortable lifestyles with some flirting with punditry or management. But others fancy a change of scenery after leaving the industry that thrust them into the limelight. Sportsmail looks at some of the bizarre career paths players have taken. Arjun Daziu, detective. Former Portsmouth and Wigan Athletic defender Daziu, who was once named by Tony Blair as his favorite player, swapped the backline for the frontline as a detective. After retiring, Daziu had intended on returning to the Netherlands to study medicine in a bid to become a doctor. But after 13 years in England, the Dutchman found it too difficult to get started again and swapped a life of saving lives for fighting crime. The former centre-back enjoyed a 17-year career playing in England and his native Netherlands, making over 200 appearances for the likes of Wigan, Coventry, and Portsmouth, but since retiring in 2009 he now works as a detective in his hometown Alkmaar. Fabian Barthez, racing driver. As a World Cup and European Championship winner, Fabian Barthez enjoyed a playing career at Marseille and Manchester United, but since retiring he has enjoyed different success. The Frenchman swapped his life between the posts for the steering wheel as he took to the track as a motor racing driver. Now 50, the shot stopper has been a professional racing driver and team owner and has achieved some success to boot. The two-time Premier League winner took up the sport in 2008 and went on to become the French GT champion in 2013 and has raced in Le Mans 3 times. Mathieu Flamini, Biochem. The Frenchman may have never officially hung up his boots, but it is safe to say his playing days are behind him as his last professional appearance came in 2019 for Getafe. Flamini was never a standout player, surrounded by the likes of Thierry Henry, Kaká, and Ronaldinho, but he wanted to use his platform for good. He established Biochemicals, which is a clean energy business that focuses on manufacturing sustainable alternatives to crude oil. Stuart Ripley, lawyer. Former Blackburn Rovers winger Stuart Ripley won 2 England caps and a Premier League title before retiring in 2002. After retiring, Ripley initially went into sports physiotherapy for local rugby and football teams before a spell on the sidelines coaching non-league side Wigan Cosmos whilst completing his UEFA coaching badges. But he eventually returned to education, studying for a degree in French, criminology, and law at the University of Central Lancashire. Ripley qualified as a solicitor in 2010 and went on to work in the sports law department of a firm in the Northwest before becoming a law lecturer. David Hillier, firefighter. Homegrown ace Hillier made 143 appearances for Arsenal, winning multiple trophies, before retiring in 2002 following his release from Bristol Rovers. After failing 3 interviews, Hillier finally landed a job as a firefighter. He revealed that it was his wife, Zoe, who suggested the career a couple of years after he stepped away from the game. Julian Dix, pub landlord and attempted pro golfer. Julian Dix is a man of many talents, well, at least many careers. He was forced to retire in his 20s due to an injured knee, but he has turned his hand to many ventures. After a playing career that saw him become a West Ham legend, play for Liverpool, and get sent off a total of 9 times, Dix tried to make it as a professional golfer. The football hardman played off scratch and even had the same coach as Colin Montgomery at one point. But the demands of professional life on the course proved too much for his knee, depriving the golfing world of a real-life Happy Gilmore. Dix also ended up running a pub before returning to the Hammers as Slaven Bilic's assistant. Jody Craddock, artist. A number of footballers are known for their creative flair on the pitch, but if asked which ones carried it over to an art exhibition, we would automatically reach for the likes of Andrea Pirlo or Xabi Alonso. It comes as a shock to find that it was former Wolves defender Jody Craddock who once had his artwork adorning the walls of a gallery. Art fairs and exhibitions have become a regular fixture for the former Wolves captain, whose portfolio features Renaissance-influenced canvases and statue-based paintings. He has also received commissions from David Beckham, John Terry and the Wolves Matchday program. Vinnie Jones, actor. The crazy gang hardman has found mainstream success by swapping Wimbledon for Hollywood. Jones won the FA Cup in 1988, but is most known for being a threatening geezer in the middle of the park, which has translated to his roles in front of the camera. His acting career has now far eclipsed his football career. Sprawling over years, his life on screen has seen him collaborate with Guy Ritchie, make a cameo in the X-Men franchise, and nab a recurring role in Law and Order: Organized Crime. Hakan Şükür, MP most famously known for scoring the quickest ever goal at a World Cup, the Turkish striker has endured a rollercoaster career since hanging up his boots. The former Blackburn player spent most of his career at Galatasaray and is the all-time leading goalscorer in the Super League, but graced the Premier League for one season between 2002 and 2003. After retiring from football, Şükür went into politics and in 2011 was elected to Turkey's parliament as a member of President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's Justice and Development Party. But relations soured between the two after Şükür was linked to the attempted coup in 2016, which resulted in him being branded as a fugitive member of the Fethullah terrorist organization, FETÖ. He now lives in exile in the US, telling the BBC he works as a taxi driver and sells books. Thomas Gravesen, poker player. Former Everton midfielder Thomas Gravesen swapped the pitch for the poker table after retiring in 2009. Once dubbed Mad Dog for his antics on the pitch, Gravesen seems to be living a much more glamorous life now as a poker playboy millionaire in Las Vegas. Gravesen, who had a bizarre stint at Real Madrid, has amassed a fortune of over $100 million, £76 million, through poker winnings alone, according to the Daily Star. He reportedly settled in a Las Vegas gated residence with his Czech model wife Camilla Purse for 8 years before returning to his homeland Denmark.